There's a dog in the road. Okay. Morning guys, Vitally here. Update. I was back in the UK last week, and on Tuesday I had my CBT and I got that. What can I say about that? It all went fine, really. There's only two things that I need to work on, and the first one is, on one occasion I got up a little bit close behind a car stopped at the traffic lights. I need to really pay attention to my 2 bike lengths when I come up to the lights. The other thing was the emergency stop. The instructor specifically requested that my hands be clear of the levers. Completely clear, off the levers completely. Now, I have a problem with that. Firstly, because my hands I always have 2 fingers on the levers, because you never know what's around the corner. So that is going to be a tough one. I don't think that that's sensible at all. I think the only reason that they make you do that is to give them an idea, perhaps, of your reactions, your reaction time, and also because I guess if they're, it's an emergency, they're trying to see how fast you react and stuff like that. But the fact is that I always ride with my fingers on the levers. I'm doing it now. What happens if, for example, you're riding along and you have something wrong with your engine, you seize your engine, or I saw an engine, a V-twin off something, I can't remember, it was a Suzuki, and it had thrown a rod straight through the crankcase. Now if you do that, your rear wheel is going to seize up. The thing that saved the guy was that he had his hand on the lever, on the clutch, I mean, I'm going to have to do it the way they want me to do it. So those are my thoughts on that subject, but it's really irrelevant because I'm just going to have to do it the way they want me to do it. And that's the end of the matter. That was Tuesday, and on Wednesday I took my motorcycle theory and hazard perception test. And I'm glad to say that I passed. First time. I did well, actually. I wasn't worried about the theory Q&A. I wasn't worried about that. I knew I could do that. I was worried about the hazard perception. I was really worried about it, because it seems to me, again, the test is fundamentally flawed, because in all of the clips, particularly, okay, the ones in country lanes and stuff where a horse comes out of nowhere, fair enough, because that's an instantaneous, easily recognizable hazard. The ones in town, I didn't think were either easily recognizable, or, there's so much going on in some of them. The whole bloody thing is a hazard, because anybody with any experience would simply have slowed down and have their foot ready near the brake, because there's kids all over the shop and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, okay. Firstly, in those kind of situations, recognizing the hazard is not easy in the first place. And then there's the matter of the window. If you've already clicked, because you perceive everything as the hazard, really, because of the window, you can click too soon. I rapidly figured out that it would be extremely good karma to do a couple of clicks just in case the first one was outside of their window, if you see what I mean. The window of reaction that they're looking for. To cut a long story short, I was worried about it, and in actual fact, it went very well. The first thing that helps is, I got to say, the resolution of the screen in the test center was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I was really worried about the clarity of things in the distance, and as it happened, everything was crystal. Get over, dick. I bought the DVD. It's now available to anybody who wants it. They just have to message me. One last thing, and it always happens to me, it seems, when doing motorcycle tests. When we went out for the ride, just like when I did my French CBT, I got lumped with a numpty. I was riding along with this Hungarian dude who came on his own bike, a CBR 125R actually, as it happens, brand new. He had a terrible time with the U-turns. That meant that we weren't riding as much as we should have been because we were too busy taking care of that. And then when we did get onto some nice country roads, we were consistently doing 10 miles an hour under the speed limit. And when we got out onto a 60, bearing in mind I was on a bloody YBR, I had to slow down because he was miles behind, and of course the instructor was following him. There was a car behind me, obviously wanted to get past, and so I pulled into the left-hand side of the road. Obviously this is England. Pulled in to let this car overtake me, and was berated by my instructor for it. And he said, you know, what were you doing? And I was saying, well, I was just letting the car through because, you know, you were way behind. And he basically said, you know, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't trust them to overtake you sensibly. You should just keep on going at the speed, at whatever speed. Well, you know, I wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if we hadn't been riding around with a guy who basically wasn't ready to go on the road, yeah? I know it's CBT training. Everybody's got to learn. One of the reasons I think that this happened was because I believe when we were the four of us, we got broken up into two groups. I think that they deliberately put that one numpty with one competent guy and the other numpty with the other competent guy, because there was another guy who's a motocross rider, young guy, and he was really good. I was watching him around the cones and everything. He had total control of the thing. And they could have put us together and then put the numpties together, but they didn't do that, and I think I know why. They do it because it means the instructor has one thing that he can concentrate on, and not two. Yeah, you know, I guess that's fair enough. I guess you could make a good argument that it contributes to safe practice, but it really did not make my afternoon as pleasant as it could have been, I can tell you that. And this happened to me on my French CBT. As I said, I got lumped with a guy he'd never been on a two-wheeled vehicle in his life with a motor on it, and suddenly he was in charge of a 125 scooter. I'm cursed with that. But anyway, it's all done now. It's over. It's not going to happen again. Boy, have I been rambling. So there it is. I've got the two certificates I need now to start my Mod 1 and my DAS. So that is next week. So wish me luck. I've been watching lots of videos on that. This is the big thing in the Mod 1. I'll show you what it is right now. This is the one thing that I have to concentrate on. The one thing I have to concentrate on the Mod 1 when I'm in a tennis court somewhere is before I do anything, before I move off, I have to do this. Not easy to remember at all.